What's going on YouTube? My name is Mocha and welcome back to the cafe. Now if you guys are new, definitely consider subscribing, and if you guys do enjoy this video, definitely hit that like button as well. Now let's get into this. Now I just want to take this moment and really appreciate the fact that the devs separate themselves from the community in the sense of constructive criticism. Now, when I was being constructive about the things I want to see in the game and what needs to be done before launch, it felt like the community was just instantly put up their swords and shields and they said, nah, like they could do no wrong. But in the end, the devs know what the game needs a lot better than the community does. So they actually did something that I'm very happy about. This week, they sent out 10,000 more keys, whether you got it or not. Most of those keys were sent out to the NA servers. So for the first time, I was actually in semi-full lobbies playing games. And I will admit, it was a lot better than playing 2v2s, 3v3s, or 5v5s. I actually had 20v20s, maybe a little more times, maybe a little less, but it was really good to see this actually being done. So seriously, Farm 51, I applaud you for that. So my last video, if you guys have not checked it out, was basically talking about the positives and the potential of World War III. In this video, I want to talk about my expectations post-launch. So for those of you that do not know, World War III is jumping into early access tomorrow, October 19th for $28. You get to finally own the game, test the game, and begin to grind the game. Now, the number one thing I want to see, despite everything I may say in this video, the number one thing, and this is mainly towards the devs, is that you guys need to create some kind of roadmap for the community to look to. So what I mean by that, if you guys have ever seen what Fix PUBG is doing, what the Operation Health was for Rainbow Six, whatever it might be, an overall roadmap for the next 12 to 15 months about what to expect in the game's development process. A lot of early access games don't do this and they leave you in the dark. I feel like DayZ's done that. Honestly, PUBG did that up until now. A lot of games go through this and you just blindly pay the company and then you don't know what you're getting in return. You don't know if the studio is actually going to be able to finish the game or if it's even going to go in the right direction. So what I want to see, because I believe in these devs so much, is that Farm 51 develops some kind of roadmap for a month-to-month basis, whether it's like a devlog or something that you guys are just explaining what's being developed during this time. So once we buy in tomorrow, what is the first thing you guys are working on? Is it another map? Are you guys beginning to work on desync, servers, dedicated servers, whatever it might be? Are you guys looking at fleshing out animations, making sure things run a lot smoother, or anything else down the line that you just want to make it better? You know, because I read today on your Twitter, you guys are opening up servers all around the world. And that's a big step for an indie development company, right? So I just want to see what you guys have planned. And I can imagine how hard it is for a development team to actually, I guess, think about the future when you guys are worried about right now. But you guys should at least have some kind of timetable, because in the next 12 to 15 months, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, I saw the devs in a lot of streams that I was watching yesterday, and they were just trying to gather information on, I guess, how people are feeling about the game. There were a lot of people streaming it, and they were really trying to get overall criticism for like, okay, what needs to be changed here, what needs to be changed here, and what needs to be changed here. And I feel like that's a great move, because you don't see a lot of development teams actually stepping out of, I guess, like their little corner and checking out how people actually vibe with the game. So that was a really big step for me to see. So the rest of this video, I want to talk post-launch expectations and things I want to see changed in the game. And one thing that really irked me while I was playing is the fact that the game mode is too long. And what I mean by that is that if it's being competitive going back and forth, I have no problem with how long the game mode is. But when you're dominating a team like we were, we owned Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Bravo 1, Bravo 2, and Delta 1, Delta 2. We owned all those points besides Charlie. And we still had to drag the game on for, it felt like an extra 15 to 20 minutes, because they just backed up into their C-spawn and they were just there. And we had to either push them or wait for the 5,000 tickets. I think that takes a little too long. Something needs to be fleshed out there. If it's being a competitive match and we're going back and forth, I don't mind it. But if it's just like a one-sided domination, there needs to be some kind of mercy rule that just either like tells them, listen, you got to grab a point in the next 30 seconds or you lose, or our tick rate needs to be a lot faster when we own more points. Something has to change within this game mode to make it more competitive, because right now it's really dragged out, if you know what I'm saying. In reality though, I figure it's one of those things that you have to play the game to actually understand where I'm coming from, so just kind of, this is what to expect tomorrow. Another thing, and I don't know if it's because I played so much Battlefield that I'm used to this, but if this is a team-based game mode and you're put into squads when you spawn, you're usually put into a 5-man squad, I don't get why you're limited to just objective spawns and you can't spawn with your squad. I think that's a little weird. I mean, like, if my squad leader is pushing C, I should be able to respawn on him and help him with his push. I don't know if that's just a Battlefield thing, but it's something that just needs to be implemented into the game. I can't spawn on anybody else, just my squad. That needs to be implemented. And another thing that goes hand in hand with that, I talked about this in my last video, the customization in the game is some of the best that I've ever seen in a game, but it's limited to the main menu. So what I mean by that is that you can do full customization within the main menu, but once you get in game, you're literally limited to just customizing the gadgets you can bring. I feel like we need a little bit more in-depth in-game system that you can maybe switch your scopes last second, you could switch the guns, you could switch a lot of other things just because that's the way it should be. You know what I mean? You got to be able to do in-game customization as well. Granted, I want to leave a lot of like the complex shit to the main menu, but when it comes to simple things like if you want to change ammo types, if you want to change scopes, that should be allowed within the game itself. Now, a lot of the other things that I could possibly bring up in this video, Farm 51 is probably already aware and are working on, right? So I could bring up fleshing out animations, but that's what early access is for. They have to flesh out the animations. The one thing I will say though is that when you're prone, switching to your stomach, it's a little janky, the slide doesn't feel as smooth, and the one thing is you guys have to get an animation in there for knifing. The current melee is god-awful, and I will show you guys a quick clip of that. If you guys also noticed in that clip, the sound sounds muffled. If you know what I mean, like I don't want to hear some like, well that's tactical realism because he's wearing a helmet or some shit. Like fuck that. The way it should be is clear quality sound. I should be able to hear my surroundings and know what's going on, but at times I'm questioning the sound. It's I don't know, it's one of those things again that you have to play to really understand where I'm coming from. But all in all, this video is mainly to say that the same thing everyone else is saying because it's the God honest truth. World War III has insane potential, and it would be a travesty to see this game fail for the amount of work that they've already put into it. So, listen, tomorrow is D-Day. Tomorrow is the day that we all get to finally test the game. I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm going to be streaming it live on the Twitch channel, so definitely come through. If you guys want to squad up, I'm more than happy to do that. Have some fun, run and gun, have a good time. But that's it for me, guys. If you guys are looking forward to the game, have any comments, have any other things you guys want in the future, because we're still going to be covering the game a lot post-launch. So if you guys want anything to see, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and until next time.